We are under 24 hours until the highly anticipated Switch 2 Direct. Happy April Fool's Day, although this video is no fool at all. In one take, I'm going to be showing what my predictions are for the Switch 2 Direct, which airs tomorrow. Let's get into it. Just a quick reminder, I will be live around 45 minutes to an hour before the Switch 2 Direct actually airs, so make sure you guys check out the stream at twitch.tv/azlorlar. And of course, if you're a new viewer, make sure to also check out my recent update video where I explain all my content plans and whatnot, because I'm actually coming back to content creation. And to help out for this one take thing that, I'm trying to do with this video, I do have a list on my computer right here that I'm looking at in terms of, we're just going to go down the list and just try to do as fast as possible, almost rapid fire. Also, really quickly, before the one take, if you have any sort of predictions of your own or predictions that someone else made, please put them down in the comments. I'm definitely going to check out all the comments posted down below. And of course, even though that we're under 24 hours at this point, I just want to see what everyone else thinks. All right, the one take starts now, and who cares if I stumble my words at this point? It is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and take first things first. I think one of the first things that will be announced during this direct is going to be the price. In terms of $3.99 or $4.99 or $4.49. Personally, for me, I'm in the camp of $3.99 and $4.99. Not $4.99. See, I'm trying to do this in one take. So it's gonna be, I think, $3.99 or $4.49. But I think I'm going to be in the camp of $4.49 for some reason. I hope it's $3.99, but we'll just see what happens. In terms of the next thing here I put down on the list is the release date. The release date, from what it sounds like, there were a couple reports that were shown off a couple days ago where they said how pre-orders were going to be shown off a week later, which was on April 9th, and then the actual Switch would release in June. Probably going to be released June 20th. That's just my prediction. I personally think, June 20th, Friday, that makes some sense. I could also see it on June 6th. I don't know if I see it on Friday the 13th, June 13th, but we'll see. In terms of the actual date, I think I'll go June 20. The next thing that I have here is the explanation of the C button. To anybody who doesn't know, this long rumored C button has been kind of a thing because of we've seen a bunch of stuff from the past before they actually revealed the Switch 2 in January. And then at the same time, the C button was also absent from the actual reveal trailer of the Switch 2. But then someone noticed after last week's direct about, how they announced the Nintendo Today app, the C button was right there and they didn't censor it. So I'm guessing that was probably a mistake or something. So we are going to get an explanation of that, no doubt about it. And at that point, in terms of what that could be, I'm not gonna go ahead and speculate on anything about that. I have seen a bunch of potential we could connect our Switch 1 to the Switch 2, or it could just be a community button. I'm not quite sure. I'm not gonna go too much into detail about that at all. The next thing is the mouse functionality that has been long rumored again for the Switch 2. I think for me personally, there is going to be a good deep dive into that mouse functionality with the Joy-Con. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I really don't. But it's gonna be interesting to see. It's a Nintendo thing. We'll see what happens with that. I do think they're going to once again have a deep dive into it, and then I'll get into the other prediction I have about that later. The comparison of power between the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. Nintendo doesn't really go into the technical side of things, but because it's the Switch 1 coming, and then we got the successor, which is the Switch 2, I do think there will probably be a couple seconds where they may take, for example, Breath of the Wild, and then compare the Breath of the Wild Switch 1 edition to the Switch 2 edition, potentially with like loading times, maybe even frames per second. I do think that the spec the spec details about the Switch 2 is just going to be like something we're just going to have to find out after the direct. I do think they'll show a comparison of something. They could use Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. That could also be a thing. But I do think they will definitely do some sort of comparison, comparison between the Switch 1's power and the Switch 2's power, because we all pretty much know that the Switch 2 should be more powerful, and it pretty much will be more powerful than the Switch 1, of course. The next thing I have here is the Nintendo Switch Online updates. There are a bunch of rumors right now, or there was an FCC filing about the GameCube controller potentially coming back for an NSO like tier for GameCube. Do I believe that? It's Nintendo. You kind of don't really want to put so much faith, but GameCube NSO or Virtual Console, remember, Virtual Console from the Wii U, the Wii, I do think it's time, and especially since with how powerful the the Switch 2 will definitely be, I think they are more than capable of doing that. So, do I believe GameCube is going to show up as an NSO potential new platform tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Screw it. Let's say it will be there, and there will be an exclusive controller as well. There will probably be also a not a tier increase, maybe a separate tier, and potentially also a price increase, I meant to say, with the Nintendo Switch Online. And of course, OS updates. I want to see themes, please, Nintendo. Please, Lord, we need themes now at this point. Especially, like, I cannot deal with the basicness that is the Switch Online menu, the OS. I can't do that anymore. Anyways, let's go into some of the games now. The Prime 4, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom upgrades. I think all those are going to show up tomorrow. Because if you guys noticed in the Nintendo Direct from last week, Prime 4 was shown, but no release date, even though it's coming out this year. There's a sneaking suspicion that they probably did not show any sort of release date. It's because it's probably launching with the Switch 2. I personally believe that. Breath of the Wild, if you guys remember, there was a whole report at Gamescom, I think 2023, where they said that Nintendo brought in a bunch of people behind closed doors. They showed off the potential power of the Switch 2 and Breath of the Wild, like showing off, I think it was like faster loading times, faster frame rate, etc., etc. Breath of the Wild, I think we'll get a Switch 2 edition, because remember, if there was also that wording that was kind of quote-unquote leaked on the Nintendo website, where there are going to be Switch 2 editions of the game. I can definitely see Breath of the Wild having it, Tears of the Kingdom having it, Metroid Prime 4 having it, maybe even Xenoblade 2, because apparently, I haven't personally played Xenoblade 2, so I don't really know. But speaking of Xenoblade, the 60 frames per second, I think there's a 60 frames per second hidden setting in Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition that just came out a couple weeks ago. Obviously, that is not possible right now, but that could just point toward the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade Chronicles X. And there was also a Paper Mario 4K output setting. I think it was rumored like last year or something, but basically there's a 4K setting of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and obviously 4K is not compatible with the Switch, so maybe it's going to show up tomorrow during the Direct, as well as a potential game that you can have a Switch 2 edition for it. Pokemon Legends ZA is also another personal one that could potentially have a Switch 2 edition of the game. I don't really have any sort of thing about that. I don't think it's rumored. I could be wrong, but I think Legends ZA has also a potential to show up with a Switch 2 edition. And then, of course, if you got anything else, let me know in the comments down below. Now, in terms of the actual games, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a little bit more difficult than I thought. But anyways, In terms of the games that are actually going to be shown off new, I'm not talking about previous titles other than the potential next Mario Kart. Mario Kart 9 or whatever the next Mario Kart game is titled, it will be shown off tomorrow, and it should be a launch day title. I do believe that. I don't really see why they would not show it on the Switch 2 reveal trailer back in January and then just not launch it. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is literally the best selling game on the Switch. So absolutely, it's gonna be a release title. There's no way about it. Release day or launch day, I should say. Next is the game that utilizes the Switch 2's mouse functionality. So I'm talking like, you know how the Joy-Cons was basically new to us back in the 2017 presentation. They had 1-2 switch and arms basically show off things. I think there's going to be at least one game that is going to be announced here, whether it be a new IP or something else. Someone's calling me, I don't know who this is. But the Switch 2's mouse functionality is 100% going to be a focus, and there is going to be a game, 1 or 2 games that is going to be shown off that will have this capability and, you know, the functionalities to its fullest of the mouse. So see here, 3D Mario. It's been years since a 3D Mario game has been revealed, released. The last one was Odyssey. 100%. They are going to show it here tomorrow. I'm saying 100% because I really do believe that. There's no way that they have not, you know, started really working on a potential Mario game. I do not count 3D World Bowser's Fury because that's technically an old game with a new story into it. Odyssey was the last real one. There's going to be a new 3D Mario tomorrow as well. Next thing is Splatoon 4. Splatoon 4, I think, has the sequel to Splatoon, I think, has a potential thing here. I think the next Splatoon will 100% be here as well. That should not really, you know. The NSO playtest was also something that was shown off last year in terms of course, you know, like what that new IP is and what they're going to do with it. I do think they could potentially show something off tomorrow regarding that. So I think the playtest did definitely something. A remake of something. I don't know what. I really don't know. There was that Fire Emblem Holy War remake that was like, that was what is it? That was rumored for a long time. I'm sorry. And so far nothing, and who knows if that's actually real or not. And then I also just put down a couple more franchises that really need new games at some point. Donkey Kong, Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing, once again, even though New World was great, you know, they definitely will have a new Animal Crossing at some point. Kirby. Are we finally going to potentially see Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD with a Switch 2 edition, Prime 2 and 3 remastered, and of course Sakurai's next game, because remember, if you guys remember, there was a thing where he said that, oh yeah, I have a potential thing going on, and it was approved, and so ever since then, nothing regarding his new game, so maybe we see it tomorrow as well. And I don't really have much in terms of first party other than what I just mentioned, but you know, Smash is absolutely possible, but I do think it's gonna be a reboot of something. But I do think that's also too early. I don't think it's gonna be announced tomorrow, but I'm just putting it out there into the universe because why not? I'm sure others are thinking of the same thing. And last but not least, I'm going to go into the third parties really quickly. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth are going to show up tomorrow as a very big, you know, potential thing, because Rebirth, remember, is playable on the Steam Deck. I think Persona 3 Reload and Metaphor ReFantazio from Atlas will also show up tomorrow, or maybe one of the two. Halo and Microsoft is all going to be there at that Direct tomorrow. They're probably going to be announcing not only the Halo, but maybe the Microsoft Flight Simulator, or maybe something else, Starfield. Shoot, I mean, that's also a very big possibility. Metal Gear Solid Delta is an August game, if I remember correctly. but that is also rumored to have a Switch 2 port at some point. Ubisoft, I just feel like Nintendo and Ubisoft's partnership for years now, especially with Mario and Rabbids, they could probably bring Assassin's Creed Shadows to Switch 2, and then Cyberpunk 2077, personal favorite. I want to see that on Switch 2. That'd be so dope. With, you know, a potential, like, you know, Nintendo costumes. Imagine if they did that. In terms of that, that's kind of like the end of the list here. I did not, somehow, some way, I did that in one take, and I just did, oh my goodness, like, I'm actually like, whew, I need water. But anyways, in terms of like anything else, I really don't have much else to say. I think at this point, it's kind of just like we're under 24 hours. Let's just freaking see the system and let's just see the games. Because I also do have that sneaking suspicion that once the direct is over, not only are we about to see like all these like developers say, oh yeah, our game is for Switch 2. Oh yeah, this game is for Switch 2. I just feel like that's gonna be tomorrow as a whole, and I feel like that's just gonna be like crazy news out of like everything and everybody and whatnot. Okay, end cut here, or the one take here, because whew, I need water. Okay, thank God. Whew, boy, that was a doozy. Okay, so, but yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I got with this video, guys. I wasn't really expecting this video to be the first video under my new revamp, but here we are. I decided to put this video up really quickly just so, you know, I can go ahead and talk about what my predictions are, and I want to hear what you think about tomorrow's Switch 2 Direct. I will be live once again on twitch.tv/azlarlar, reacting to the entire Direct, and we will figure out what happens after that. So we'll see. We're going to see a lot of information. Maybe some great, maybe some not great. We'll see what happens. But I do think there is going to be a whole bonanza of information that is going to be shown off tomorrow. So I hope to see you there. And make sure to, of course, once again, please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel for more videos such as these. I really like doing the prediction videos, like talking about rumors, talking about leaks. I really do like doing that. So I'm probably going to be doing something like that in the near future as well. All right. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the Direct tomorrow, and I hope to see you there on my Twitch channel. See you tomorrow, guys. Have a great day.